Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for stopping by Embassy of the Islamic Republic of the Gambia. You're welcome. And I will start by saying that you're welcome on behalf of the President of the Islamic Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Dr. H.E his entire government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, University of the Gambia, and the entire Gambian population, and of course, the staff here at the Embassy. I think I should give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and give us a little background. You've been going to the Gambia about 3 years in a row. We're so proud of you. We're very happy that you have stopped by during your visits in Washington, D.C. to come to where is called now the Embassy of the Islamic Republic of the Gambia here on 16th Street. You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and Salam Alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
And I appreciate being here. Thank you for inviting me to your beautiful new embassy here on 16th Street. It's really a good welcome and a good representation of the hospitality of the Gambia. So as you know, I have a long-standing relationship with the University of the Gambia, where I'm a professor, as well as a professor at the University of Louisville in Kentucky. And I've been very happy to have students from the Gambia in, as master's and doctoral students in the field of public health coming to the U.S. since about 2006, 2007. And then starting in 2013, I began teaching a couple of courses in the Masters of Public Health program at the University of the Gambia. And subsequently, I had a Fulbright fellowship, and I'm really proud to say that I was the first Fulbright to come to the Gambia. And so that was that was last year. And I now have an appointment at the university, and we're working together very hard to develop hopefully an African Center for Global Health Studies, and working in villages and communities in the Gambia with the big goal of, if we train students in public health, then we are building institutional support for public health, for the Ministry of Health in the Gambia, and then also in community and health developmental programs in villages and cities in the Gambia, where it's just so important to make a big difference, and where we really can make a big difference. So.
Excellent. So just a quick one. If I just want to say, what do Anna do here in the United States? People are looking at you or listening and they say, who is she? I mean, is she from Louisville? Is she from Iowa? What would you say?
Right. So I'm a professor at the University of Louisville in the School of Public Health. I was trained at Johns Hopkins in reproductive and perinatal epidemiology, so I'm an epidemiologist by trade, and I'm most interested in global maternal and child health, which means building the health of women and children and families, and most probably specifically in preventing maternal and infant death throughout the world. So here, I'm originally from Virginia. I lived in Washington for a long time, and I was trained originally in, I studied in liberal arts and languages, English and history and literature. And so, we bring all of this to our work and to building collaborative relationships in global health around the world. I've traveled a lot. I've also had a fellowship, a Fulbright fellowship in Armenia. I've done a lot of work in Romania and India. But it's funny that when I first started working with Gambians and going to the Gambia, that that's where I'm really putting my emphasis. I feel that it's just a magical, very special country and a very special place. And I think we can do a lot of good together.
And what connects you to the Gambia? How come you just get connected to the Gambia? You've been all over the world.
I think it's the people. I really think it's the people. It's some combination of the people and the sunlight and the welcoming and the food and the hospitality, and that there's such tremendous potential there. Really, I see it very much with young people. I see it with my students there. I see it with children, with families, that everybody is positive and resourceful, and I think there's just so much that our graduate students and undergraduate students there can contribute back to their own country and to the region.
Excellent. And as we were having a talk with the counselor, Mr. Mane, protocol welfare officer, Mr. Perminte, you had shared with all of us your impression of the youth.
Yes. So my impression of the youth is very strong and positive. And, sometimes when we talk about Africa, we have a tendency to say, oh, there's poverty, there's, plight, there's hunger. Yes, there is that. But, that's true in many places. But what Africa has, and what West Africa and the Gambia has, is this tremendous resource in the talent, the skills, the positivity of youth. And I think it's so important to encourage them to work together and with all of us to make a better world. And I forget, I think you said, and I wrote down, that we want to decrease this difference in the ocean.
Absolutely.
It can be a smaller difference when the world comes together and we work together for peace and justice and health and the well-being of everybody. And that's what we need to be doing.
No, that's great. And we, on behalf of staff, and of course the government and president, we really cannot thank you enough. Getting out of Louisville,
My pleasure.
going to the Gambia, University of the Gambia, and giving back to our communities. What would you tell? We have a lot of successful Gambians here in the diaspora. I am telling you, Gambians are successful here.
They are, absolutely.
Predominantly excellent. Some of them are just being quiet, taking care of normal life. But we want to open up to them and say, like the president said a couple of years ago at the United Nations, you need to open up.
Yes,
so what are you?
I just think, and we both agree, I think, wouldn't it be wonderful for Gambians who are in America and Europe to give a little bit back to their country, whether it's an hour here and there, whether it's somebody who's a professor or a physician or a farmer who has agricultural understanding and understands climate change. They could help teach a distance learning course. They could go to the Gambia and spend a week volunteering, teaching a medical class. There's just so many people here from the Gambia who are scholars, nurses, doctors, gardeners, all kinds of things. There's so many ways you can give back. And you can give back by sending a little bit of money to an NGO that supports education. You can volunteer your own time. But I think it would be wonderful if every Gambian did one day a year of something that gave back to their country. And I think most Gambians want to.
Excellent. Yeah, so in that case, Gambians can reach out to the embassy here. They can reach out to Cairo Foundation. You already successfully established a foundation in the Gambia. You're paying for tuition.
Yes.
For several students. You have been to Bafalodo, you have been to Madiana, you've been all over the country. And again, tell me, what do you think Gambians here in the diaspora can do now, irrespective of political affiliation, to contribute and to give back? What areas do you think, and how do you think we can achieve that?
I think that everybody has something that they can give back, whether it's $20, or whether it's a few hours of their time. And what they should do is they can contact the embassy directly. They can go to our foundation, which I'm pleased to have you as a member of our board. Go to cairofoundation.org or call the embassy or contact me through the University of Louisville. And what we can do is connect people with their skills with needs, whether health is an important area, agriculture is especially an important area. Tourism is important. Insights into how we can create a better world. A really obvious and easy thing to do is to contribute to the education of a child or a university or a graduate student. And sometimes that can be, do you have an old laptop that's maybe still working, but you've gotten a new one? Send it to us and we can make sure that it goes to the right person. And we've done a good bit of that. Technology or things like that can make a very big difference. We have graduate students who are so resourceful that somehow they've done most of their master's degree without even having a laptop or the right computer. But if they have that, they can do much better. So these are some simple steps that I think anyone could do.
So that the Gambians here can reach out to us.
Can reach out
or
easily to us. We can help make it easy for them and help connect skills with needs.
Whether those who want to give to lecture, distant learning at the
It could
University
be-
of Gambia,
Precisely.
could be sending $20 here and there to help contribute to the tuition of a child in the Gambia,
Yes.
and to help save a baby. I remember wanting to
Yes.
say something about
Yes.
you want to save every mother and every baby in the Gambia. You don't want
Too many mothers and babies and young children die unnecessarily. And with a small amount of change, I think we can help improve community health infrastructure, training midwives even, and making sure that every birth is an absolutely healthy birth.
Excellent. I think I saw a report just recently talking about some years ago, your own area, your own field, for every 100,000 baht, they were losing something like 740. And now this government and this ministry has worked so hard that they have
Yes.
cut it now to about
Yeah.
300.
Yeah, so there have already been some very, very important reductions and improvements, and we need to continue that. And, at the same time, work with just basic things like diarrheal disease can be, one of the most significant things. And what is that about? It's clean water. And those are changes that we can make, and you're absolutely right. There's improvements that have been made in the last 15, 20 years that we can build on. The Ministry of Health in the Gambia does a very good job and has very, very strong staff, several of whom are students in our master's program.
Excellent. I cannot just finish off, Doctor. I have a couple of questions, but something very important. What about the young people who are dying every day to come to the United States? What do you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that, first of all, we would welcome them here, but second of all, I would really encourage them, yes, to visit and yes, to travel, but bring your skills back home to the Gambia with you. Because the Gambia is a beautiful, resourceful, rich country that needs them, desperately needs them. They can do more good staying home, going back home, than they can do leaving. And yes, of course we would welcome them here, but that's brain drain. Then we're taking your best, the wonderful country that I know you love.
Excellent. So because we've just talked, recently about folks coming here. Of course, they can come. We also have a lot to offer.
Yes.
I mean, it's a beautiful country. I mean, the amount of work you do here, maybe if you do even half of that work in the Gambia, you'll be successful.
Yes, exactly.
I've seen people who say, well, I wish I stayed, because what they thought is here is not what...
It's a harder life here than they think. I mean, there's an image that it's paradise. And yes, I certainly love my country, but it's also, it can be a very difficult life, and it's a very difficult transition for people. It's not all easy, and it's not all perfect. And I think as a sort of a corollary to that, I also want to thank you for the welcome that my students and I have all received in the Gambia, because this is very much a two-way street. So when Gambian students come and study with my students, or when my students are able to go to the Gambia for part of a summer to work and to learn, then we're mixing and exchanging and learning from each other, and that is probably the most important thing in the end. And I can't tell you how much my students love going and really appreciated their summer, and so we're going to be doing that again this summer.
And Olko, finally, what will be your message to us here at this embassy you have visited? And we thank you for lecturing at the University of Gambia. Thank you for helping Gambian youth and exchanging. So what will be your final words to all of us, the embassy, dialogue, the community, and everything? And you're ready to go back to the Gambia, of course.
Yes, I'm going back to Gambia in a couple of weeks, and I look forward to that, and I look forward to a long and continued relationship. And mostly, I want to thank you for an incredible welcome here today, and may our collaboration be ongoing and long and fruitful and benefit everybody in both directions. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you. That was good.
That was good.